This is Tesla Model 3 made in China. Today, I will be showing you the differences of Teslas that is made in China versus those that are made internationally. According to international comments, apparently Chinese-made Teslas are way better and consistent than internationally made. Hey guys, welcome back to Chinese Car Guy. First off, thank you very much for your support. It is completely free to smash that like button, and that will really help with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. The front is extremely striking. The LED front light actually looks like an animation character's eyes. This car is in black, and this probably is one of the coolest color alongside with red color. Here we have the legendary front. The front is extremely spacious. You can put a duffel bag over here that is completely not a problem. Inspecting closely at the car, I can see that the alignments of the car are perfectly made. Moving on to the side, this car sports an 18-inch wheels, and of course you can configure the wheels in different looks. This is the blind spot camera. Here you can see the curves are very well aligned, I have to say. So far, I haven't seen any misalignments. The rear of this car looks striking. First, look at this spoiler that is inbuilt. It looks like the duck lips that looks similar to the Neo ET5. This is very sporty looking. And this time, the LED light is attached with the trunk. So when you open the trunk, it doesn't become two-piece backlight, and that is great. Again, the gaps are incredibly well aligned. Hold on, over here, this might be a small misalignment where this curve is slightly protruding out as compared to this gap. But at the same time, I'm not sure if they are meant to be together. Did I just wrote a poem? I have to say that the space in the Tesla Model 3 is huge. If I pull open this more, there are even more storage. At the rear, I'm looking at the gaps, and I again don't see any misalignments, and I think it is also a huge testament of how far Chinese-made products have come along. Now I bring you to the interior. The driver's seat is very premium. In fact, Tesla's cars are always very comfortable. You have no idea, I really love round steering wheels. So the elephant in the room are the signaling lights. I think that the signaling lights are extremely annoying. The saying goes is, if something's not broken, don't fix it. On the right, you have a few buttons as well. So this is 360 degrees camera. This is wipers. This is the voice command. 帮我打开车窗。
车窗移动到位。
So this is the screen, and you have a number of different settings. It is extremely responsive. Here, there is no glove box, so it can be a little problematic. There's also no place to store the sunglasses. This is the hazard light, and this is touch sensitive. This is where I paste a sticker because this is a camera that is facing the cabin. I don't want to have a camera pointing at my face 24/7. Here we have the wireless charging. The compartment over here is quite clean looking and spacious. Look at the amount of things that I've put in. And here we have the cup holders. And here, look at this. I've put so many things here. It also extends below. So this is quite spacious too. One of the biggest problems that I hate will be that it doesn't have physical air vents. You never really know whether they are blowing to you until a second later, and that is annoying. Now let's move to the back seat. The back seat is fairly comfortable. The leg space is decent. The head space is fairly decent as well. This glass panel comes all the way down, and there is no door frame here like some of the other cars that is actually pressing your head down. So that is quite good. Also, the sunroof is quite tinted. In scorching hot sun, it doesn't really bother me as much. Now, there is an armrest over here that actually didn't look like an armrest, and it looks very nice as well after you put it down, and it's very comfortable. You have two very practical cup holders. but it doesn't have any storage over here. And of course, you have my classic baby seats. The seats are made of leather, very soft leather, and it's very comfortable. I do have to say that my feet feel slightly elevated, so perhaps some support under my thighs will help. Now, one of the biggest problems I have with the back seat is this infotainment system over here. If I were to assess it with my seatbelt on, I do have to constantly reach for it. Secondly, the position of the infotainment system is also a little odd. It is very weird for me to look in front and look downwards. So overall, I think the back seat is quite good, although it can be a little bumpy at times. Now let's go for a drive. To put on the drive and reverse, I actually have to swipe it. Now there are versions where I can do it automatically, but right now I have to swipe it. So I swipe back, and I can have 360 degrees camera, and I can then put on reverse and start reversing. This blind spot camera is really useful because I can reverse in confidence now. And now to drive, I swipe it front. Now, one downside for this car is that there's no heads-up display or any screen over here. So if I have to look at directions or information about the car, I then have to shift my gaze over here. There are too many Chinese cars nowadays where I can look at this information without turning my head at all. The driving experience, I have to say, is quite smooth. The brakes are smooth. Another downside I have to say is that they don't have a proper 360 degrees camera. So essentially, you can't really see your surroundings apart from the Tesla sensor. So all you're really relying is this screen over here that sometimes might not even be accurate. A lot of Chinese cars nowadays that has a 360 degrees camera. So I think that is something that they might need to work on. This is the three-dimensional view, and you can see very clearly which lane you are at. I also have to say that the cabin is quieter than an international version. Okay, now let me turn on the AP. So to turn on the AP, I have to click this 2 times. Now this is a merging lane. I have to be very careful. I also have to ensure that my hands is on the steering wheel at all times. Although we have to keep our hands on the steering wheel, Tesla is not as sensitive as other cars. So for example, if I am putting my hand over the steering wheel like this, on most other cars it is perfectly fine, but on Tesla sometimes they will still send me a signal telling me to move the steering wheel a little to show that I'm still awake. You see, it just told me to hold the steering wheel again. Now let's see if this car is able to get this lane change right. Okay, that's good, that's good. Woo! Oh my god, I got a little nervous earlier because it was also going quite fast. And also the way that it stops doesn't have the typical brake feeling where your car went slightly like this. It doesn't have that. And I think that's very good. One thing I really love about China's map is that it is just so detailed. I mean, look at this. It tells you exactly which lane to go, which lane you are currently in. It makes navigating roads very simple. Overall, I think driving this car is just so fun because this is sporty enough and it's also very comfortable. This car also sits very low. It feels like you're very connected to the ground, and that's something that I think is very good. So what do you think about this car? Would you import a Chinese-made Tesla? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Please, again, don't forget to smash that like button right now and click the subscribe button. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next one.